This is M.
And this is Ken.
And this is just your typical
Boy meets girl.
boy and girl become BFFs.
Straight up BFFs. For life.
Girl asked boy to make some top 5 lists.
Boy decides to film it.
And an internet sensation was born.
Dozens will be entertained.
This is our podcast.
Top 5 Battle Royale.
With cheese. And welcome to the second half of Season 2 of M and Ken's
Battle Royale. I mean, top 5 Battle Royale with cheese. I do know the show I'm on.
That was great.
Right?
Great.
Epic season, mid-season 2 premiere.
It's not like we haven't done, like, what, 20 some of these episodes?
Yeah.
At some point, we maybe will get it right, but that was not.
Set head cold. Still working through that.
It's okay. It's all right. I understand. I get it. Welcome to the second half of Season 2. I am Ken.
I'm Em.
And this is our Top 5 show. We did not select, before the end of the last episode, we did not select a topic, so there was a little controversy, trying to figure out what was what. We had to go back and look at the tape.
We did.
I selected the last topic, which was Taco Bell items, which was ironic, because I can't eat anything from Taco Bell now, but we filmed that a little bit early, so. So technically, Em, it is your turn to pick. I already know what she's going to pick, but since you don't, Em, would you care to share with us what exactly our topic today is going to be?
Yeah, so we kind of back and forth about things that we wanted to do. We had some viewer suggestions,
we had some great viewer
awesome.
suggestions. Yes, thank you.
We're going to save those for later in the season. So I rolled out with one that I thought was kind of funny, especially with our current political climate and our regular viewing of Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
My SNL buddy.
We are SNL buddies every Saturday.
Absolutely.
New episodes. We don't watch the old stuff.
No. But we're obsessed with Alec Baldwin's Trump. So I thought, why not go with presidential hairdos? Because I think, like, when we look back at Trump's presidency, the only thing we're really gonna remember about it is his fantastic hairdo.
Yeah, I think when the dust settles, we don't remember much about presidents only afterwards.
No.
You know, so I think when the dust settles, you're just mostly gonna remember that tan.
You know it.
And that hair. So yeah, I love the idea. This was actually a lot of fun.
I had a good time too.
I used to be able to name all of the presidents in order.
That was not my gig. But
no,
yeah.
I'm a huge history buff, and there's some really great like documentaries out there about the presidency and everything like that. I love politics for that reason. Like I love all of that. So this was fun for me to go back. My number one was just set. I knew immediately, but it was fun to go back and look at them. So
yeah.
So presidential hairdos, and not necessarily bad or good, just presidential hairdos. There are 40 plus gentlemen who have been president, and they've all had their own sets of hair, except for a few of them, they had no hair.
I noticed that too.
Yeah, but yes.
Not as many as you would imagine, I'm gonna be honest with you.
I was a little disappointed. I thought there would be more crazies to deal with, but there were a lot of, you can definitely see trends. Like from like Carter to like Obama, they all had the same hairdo.
Like very conservative.
Like that, yeah, that, so.
Yes.
So this was fun. Alright, so since Emily got to pick,
You get to flip.
I get to
you get to call.
flip.
I get to flip.
You remember the rules, right?
I do.
We've done like 20 of these.
Wild.
Alright, so in the air, Harvey Dent or Two-Face on the coin. I'm gonna go with Harvey Dent.
Ooh, it is Harvey Dent.
Oh!
Harvey Dent for the win.
Oh.
Alright, sir.
Alright,
So
so.
you get to go first, right?
No, that means
I'm
you
just
get to
playing
go
you now. I know I get to go first. Alright, so my first, my number 5 pick for presidential hairdos is actually not so much because of his hairdo, but his fantastic stash.
That was another thing.
Right?
Like there's some epic facials going on too, so you gotta take that into account as well.
So my number 5 is Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yes, Teddy Roosevelt rocked the Teddy mustache, unlike anyone else. And actually, I also picked him.
No way!
For my number 5.
Yes! I love when we match.
Yeah, I couldn't leave him off the list no matter what, because he's one of my favorite presidents. Also, I got to play Teddy Roosevelt in the play once.
There was that.
So, but yeah, the mustache. And he also had just a really, kind of like, he didn't care about his hair.
True.
Like, if you look at pictures, he definitely never combed it unless it was like a big event. But even like when he was getting his pictures, it was just like, boop, boop. So Teddy was definitely a well-deserving person on this list.
Agreed.
So I love that he was number 5. I feel like there's probably like 2 or 3 presidents that are going to be on each of our lists.
Crossover. Yeah. I'm good with that.
Yep.
All right, my number 4 is my wild hair choice.
Okay.
Like if you look back, my knowledge of presidents really comes from like, a placemat I got at some restaurant. They had like them all listed out. And I seriously, like when I Google images of presidents, I swear to you, I found like that exact same image of that placemat. So
I feel like I've seen like what you're talking about. Like it's just a traditional.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So my next one, number 4, is my wild hair. Like I said, a little crazy, a little unkempt. Although back in the day, maybe you didn't really have anything to tame your mane. We'll see. I went with Andrew Jackson.
Nice. Very, very nice.
Yes.
Andrew Jackson, a controversial president, but definitely that hair was
fantastic.
Yeah, I think he was another guy who he didn't have a lot of cares in the world about what people were thinking.
He was busy running our country.
He was busy running our country. Yes, he was. My number 4 is actually a nice hair pick because I wanted to pick the president I thought had the best hair.
Oh, that's my number 1.
Like the best hair.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy, nobody can match it. If I'm like looking, I'm a hair person. I love my hair.
Was he like the Playboy of presidents?
He was.
He's on my list too.
Yeah. I just thought, God, that guy has the best hair of any president ever in history. It's Mr. JFK, John F. Kennedy. He just, he was such an iconic president for so many reasons. He was such a, like you said, a playboy and smooth. But that hair was on point. And
Agreed.
None of his brothers could get it right.
No.
Well, his brother's hair,
like that perfect wave.
His it just flowed. It's like, I imagine when he's like drying his hair, like it's like a movie. It's like slow motion. Just like, so I appreciate the fact that he had such nice hair. So that was my nice hair pick.
My number 3 is the presidential mullet.
Okay.
And I love it. I love this president for many reasons. Well, no, I shouldn't say many reasons. I love him because he has a sweet mullet, and it also reminds me of Married with Children. Did you watch that when you were younger? I'm sure I should not have watched that show when I was younger. No, we should not have. But I did.
We got away with a lot in our generation, yeah.
For
we
sure.
definitely did.
And Mr. Bundy attended James K. Polk High.
4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns. Yeah.
That is awesome. Yes, James K. Polk had
a fantastic mullet.
It was white as white could be. It was, it was like just a little bit below shoulder length.
But it was like business in the front,
party in the back. And it was tight too. If you look at pictures, if you go back in history and look at pictures of Polk, that mane, it was tight. It was the slicked back. It wasn't like it wasn't like the frizzy kind of hillbilly mullet. It was that super slicked back mullet. Right. Very appreciative of that look, I have to say.
Right.
I tried to rock a mullet a few years ago. I wanted to do it as a joke, and I got so
a little flack.
Like my hair doesn't grow that fast.
Sure.
But so it doesn't get long. It just kind of sits there, and I just had to cut it. But I was like, I'm gonna grow a mullet. I don't know why. I was in my late 20s. I'm like, I'm gonna grow a mullet because I make bad choices.
Because I never have. That's awesome.
All right. So my number 3 is just the ultimate throwback. Just kicking it old school. Back in the day, that's kind of, I think, the hairdo that just about everybody had back then. And, I mean, he was the greatest president of all time when you think about it. Sure. He was number 1. George Washington. I don't necessarily think he had the greatest hair or necessarily the craziest hair, but I couldn't leave him off.
Oh, I agree.
I feel like when you're listing presidents, unless you're listing absolute train wrecks or whatever, you have to put
number 1.
You have to put him number 1. Mm-hmm. You have to put number 1 somewhere on the list. I didn't feel like he was, I love his hair, and there's so many great pictures of him, but he just rocked that white curly kind of.
Wasn't his hair? Was it a wig? Yeah.
It was a wig.
Yeah,
it was a wig, but everybody
still
wore
counts.
wigs back then for the most part, except for John Adams, because John Adams always got that. So
No, I agree. When I picture historic presidential, you go straight to Washington.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Which would be why George Washington is my number 2 pick. For the
George
same
Washington.
Reasington, right?
Woo!
Reasington?
Same Reasington.
Same
Yes.
Reasington.
It's the same Reasington.
You gotta rock the wig, the presidential
Yeah.
wig.
And you know, it was such a classic look. Everybody, like when you went out, you had that. It's a weird that I don't know why that tradition like faded away. Because even when
it was hot.
that's
It's
true,
itchy.
yeah. But I remember even when I was a kid, my grandfather was balding, so he always wore wigs.
Yeah.
I remember he had
That's
a
from the man who
closet
has a whole head of hair.
full
by
of
the way.
wigs. Oh, look at this! It's so
I mean,
it's silky
intense.
and wonderful.
Mhm.
And I was joking around. I don't want to lose my hair. I am not a
I
vain
feel
person, but I have no desire to lose my hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the wigs and all that kind of stuff, just super, super awesome. They were switched. Okay, mine were switched for some reason. Okay, my number 2 is already on M's list. That he's probably one of my favorite presidents. He was pretty controversial, but he's still one of my favorite presidents just because of the way he went about his presidency. Not necessarily because of his hair, but I think the hair had a lot to do with it. Because, man, let me tell you something. Andrew Jackson,
Yes!
that man had a head of hair.
Right?
That man had a head of hair.
Love it.
So, yeah, I couldn't leave him off. I read a book about him a while back, American Lion, and it's like, that's the perfect way to describe his hair, is a lion's mane, and it was like, that works in so many levels!
Love it.
So many levels!
That's awesome.
Yes. So,
We're up to number 1.
we are up to our number 1.
My number 1 is also on your list. You probably
yes.
already guessed it.
We
I went
kind
with
of
I went with like best hair, right? Like if we were at voting yearbook votes,
Oh, yeah,
he
he
would
would
be my
annihilate
number 1
it.
vote,
He would
right?
annihilate it.
It's JFK, of course.
Mr. John F. Kennedy.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
That had the best hair.
He did. He had the best hair. Ironic that we got to talking about this because of our current president.
Right.
And
Who didn't make the list?
Who didn't make the
Well,
list.
he didn't make my list. I don't know what your number 1 is.
He didn't make my list either, actually, because he doesn't have the craziest hair. If you look back at the craziest hairdos, he did not. I very much wanted to put James K. Polk on my list.
Well, I'm glad I got him for you then.
But I didn't, and I'm so glad that you picked him because I was really upset. I also wanted to put John Adams on there a little bit because I thought John Adams had some crazy hair. But if you go back and look, and I'm going to put his picture up in a second here, but nobody had crazier, wilder hair than Mr. Martin Van Buren.
Nice.
That man had...
Nice.
It was like frizzy and all over the place, and his presidential pictures are just... He was a hot mess with his hair, and I was like, I can't not put him at number 1. That whenever I look at those pictures, I just remark to myself, God, that guy. That's how I remembered who he was
by
because of his
hair.
hairs. That's how I remembered Martin Van Buren.
I like it.
Buren as a president.
I like it.
Yes, this was
Good list. This
was a fun list. I like the idea of doing different things and trying different kinds of topics and stuff like that. I think that's one of the reasons we wanted to do this initially was
pop culture.
Yeah, we don't want to get stuck in doing all the TV show stuff and all the because there's so much to do with that. But we wanted to try something different. We did that with the Taco Bell.
We wanted to bring a little education.
Yeah. I like the idea of doing these weird kind of off-brand lists. We've done a couple of them now.
Yeah.
And these were actually some of the more fun ones. This was a lot more difficult than I thought it was.
Oh, me too. Absolutely.
For the reason of like James K. Polk and
Right.
There was 40 guys. You'd be like, it's easy to pick 5.
Mm-hmm.
It really, really isn't. And again, we decided to do this because of our current president, and then we didn't put him on the list. He didn't even make the list. I'm sorry, Donald. Please don't deport us. All right, so you got to pick this week's topic. I get to pick our topic for next week.
All right.
I think we haven't done a music-related topic in a while.
Okay.
And I think I'm a little bit of a sucker for a boy band. I have some boy band issues. It has threatened my man card on many occasions, and I don't care. I don't care.
With the boy band?
I think it's time. I think it's time to list our top 5 boy bands. So I think that's going to be our topic
I'm
next
very
week.
excited about
I am
very excited about that.
All right, so join us next week. Our topic will be top 5 boy bands, and there's so many that when you think about it, there are so many. So this will be a really good topic. Thank you.
We'll have 2 totally. Sorry, I told you that.
No, that's okay.
We have 2 completely different perspectives.
We do. Yeah, I think there's probably like 2 or 3 that'll be on each of our lists.
Sure.
I would think probably 2 or 3. I think one will definitely be on both of our lists.
Right.
Probably near the top. If I want to be so bold as to guess what my good friend is thinking, I think perhaps one of our tops will be very similar. But again, different. You know, I have a different musical sensibility than you do, so there's probably 1 or 2 on my list that are going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, my music sensibility is crap. I like junky pop music.
Well, I like junky pop music too, but you know, I also
I'm not very well rounded in the
that's all right.
in the music department.
It's okay. It's all right. It's not what makes you you, but it's what makes you you. Right?
Yeah, I get it. I got it.
All right. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, you can click the little thumbs up button. It's like right here, and give us a thumbs up. We would appreciate it. If you haven't already, you should subscribe to the channel, and you'll see our videos pop up. If you click on the little logo there, the little bell after you subscribe, that'll give you notifications. So whenever I post a video or whenever we post a new one of these every Wednesday, 5 p.m., you will get notified right away. So you don't have to remember, oh my God, what day is it? It'll be like, hey, you get a little notification letting you know that we have a new video. Follow us on the social media. You can follow us at Twitter at MNKens5, and then my handle is at TV Chips.
And I'm at Peanut4141.
That's correct. So, and they're right there. You can see them right there. So give us a follow. If you have any suggestions for lists that we should do, we want to hear them. We have gotten several. We have taken them into account. We have a list that we've compiled. I have this document full of different ideas for lists that we've been kind of saving. So when people have been sending us their ideas, we've been doing. And we're holding on to a few of them. We are holding on to some of them for specific reasons, which you will see later on in this season. Absolutely. So, welcome to the second half of season 2. We've got several episodes. I think we've got some really great topics brewing, so we hope that you enjoy. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
JFK.
I love when we come up with this thing. That's awesome.